All right, ladies and gentlemen, Content Farm episode 19, back as always with the usual suspects, Clyde at Not Your Friend, Peter at Goat on a Stick. Say hello, say hello. Just starting off back with some games talk again. I know we went crazy on Superman last week, and then before that we went crazy on that deep censorship topic. Good stuff. We're back, but this weekend, me and Peter have been smashing Battlefield. Well, I've been smashing Battlefield. Peter smashed a bit of Battlefield as well. So we'll go over Battlefield and sort of how that affects the industry at the moment, and maybe give some comparisons to things like Call of Duty, because it's all very hot right now. A lot of discussion around Call of Duty and Battlefield. After that, I think Clyde and Peter want to talk about the Penguin TV show. After that, just ramble about some bullshit. That's the plans for this evening. So, sit down, get comfortable, and let us begin. Should we talk about some Battlefield 6? Very much the hot thing right now. I played it for 12 fucking hours this weekend, at least 12 hours, which is crazy because I didn't even get max level. Like like the beta closed and I was like right at the end of level 19. I would have needed to play one more game to get level 20, which was the max, I think, for the beta. But yeah, Peter, you played it as well, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yep.
I know you did. You played it with me.
No, that wasn't me. That was my stand-in.
That was AI.
He gave me notes though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really playing Battlefield. I was actually playing Peak.
You were playing BattleBit remastered. But yeah, what did you think?
I liked it better than the several of the previous versions. 5 definitely. And I, from what I've seen, I like it even a little better than 4.
Wow, God, hot off the bat.
Well, mostly because from what I've seen, because 4 was very vehicle centric, and some of the maps in 4 were just absolutely massive. Like, I'm sure they'll have some big maps, but just from what I've seen, the map seems a bit more conservative. The vehicles don't seem as in your face, which was a huge issue I had with 3. That they carried on to 4. But it's much faster paced. The time to kill is very short. The player move speed is very fast. They parkour over like objects incredibly fast. I remember commenting that Sean, I saw him go over like 4 walls in the matter of 2 seconds. He was just choop, 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 without even breaking speed. And I remember he commented that I used my defibs on him while running full sprint without losing any momentum. Just so it's fast. It's very fast. As a Battlefield player and not much of a COD player, I wasn't used to it. I'd be behind a wall, and as soon as I see someone climbing the wall, I turn around and they're already standing next to me. There's just and it.
Yeah, I think the what you said about the defib kind of encapsulates how things have maybe changed a little bit from the last game, because it's like they've gone out of their way to eliminate all downtime. So you don't even have to even remotely charge defibs. I don't know if that was a thing in the past. I can't remember. But either way, something about it is just, like I said, you sprint around. You don't have to lose momentum at all. You just sprint around and go beep, 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 and revive 16 people. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's really
what you
funny.
need to do, because like you said, people spawn so fast that they mostly don't even wait for the defib. I mean,
yeah.
Oftentimes I won't even get to them in time, and they'll just respawn, which honestly is sometimes faster. So it's weird how much faster paced it is, but I definitely see it as them appealing to COD.
I see a bit of that. I get a bit of that vibe, yeah. But no, I mean, I loved it. It was probably that beta weekend was probably the most fun I've had in Battlefield since 1. So it was more fun than anything I did in Battlefield 5. I didn't enjoy that game very much, and it was definitely more fun than anything I ever did in 2042, because I strongly disliked that game. But it's also funny talking about Battlefield 2042, because on that game's launch, not just beta, but on launch, they didn't have a scoreboard working. They also didn't have multiple basic features working, but the meme that everyone brings up is the scoreboard. Battlefield 6 has a scoreboard already. It's already comfortably winning in the in the beta process. Oh,
Okay.
Battlefield 2042 launched fucked. It launched with like even like the simple things that you take for granted, like walking around and aiming and shooting, was all bugged. When 2042 came out, it was all glitchy. The sensitivity would like change by itself while you're aiming around. The walking was like floaty, and you couldn't. It was difficult to traverse over things sometimes because it was so buggy. So that's not even a comparison. Obviously, Battlefield 6 is in beta and it's miles ahead of anything 2042 was achieving at this point in the at this point in the development cycle. But yeah,
2042 was such a nothing burger. I actually confused it with their previous flop.
Is that 2040?
2142?
Yeah, 2140. That's
Was
like
that
very futuristic. Yeah.
Yeah, which was just I didn't even bother with it, you know. So when 2042 came out, I was just like, not even gonna bother with it.
Oh yeah, 2042 was bizarre. That was the game where, well, they made a new game mode that was 64 versus 64, so double double regular conquest numbers. But the maps were the maps. I think I told you about this while we were playing the other day. But the maps were so bad; they were just like acres and acres of fields, and then like a couple of buildings, and then another acre of fields. That was every map in 2042. It was hilarious. It was like the maps on Armor that are designed for you to play like an actual milsim war. They were like Armor maps. The Battlefield 2042 maps. They were just fields and then some huts, and then a little city.
That. That's just sniper heaven.
Yeah,
I hate it so much. Yeah, but you said you didn't like me comparing it to Battlefield 4.
No, I respect it. No problem. No problems here. I haven't had time to ruminate on that enough. I love Battlefield 4 a lot. I don't know how I compare the two, but I do agree with what you said. That Battlefield 4 was probably the most vehicle centric that I've played anyway. It was so vehicle centric because it wasn't just some of the maps. It was like most maps. Most maps were like tanks and
the maps that weren't vehicle centric, they were way too claustrophobic.
Yeah, Metro and Locker.
Metro 100%. Yeah. Which had its fun sometimes, but
I had so much fun on Metro. Yeah, but it was meat grinder.
But sometimes I just don't. Yeah, sometimes I don't want the meat grinder map. Sometimes I want like the strategy kind of, not just one major choke point kind of map. You know. Yeah, it's like the 2 Fort of Battlefield.
Yeah, and speaking about like meat grindy infantry combat, that's one of the weird things about this game so far. Because Clyde, have you played the older Battlefield games at all?
I've not, and that's one of the things I wanted to ask you all about is like how does what is the charm of the new one that the old ones didn't have? Like what prevented you from being Battlefield fans and being ride or die with Battlefield, and what is it about this new game? Is it just the movement that's improved, or is it?
No, well, the charm of this one is going back to the ones that we used to like. It's very much kind of like a return to form attempt anyway, because the last couple of games that came out from a few years ago and then a few years before. So the last one that we all liked was 10 years ago now at this point. It came out in 2016, so 9 years ago, my bad. But this game is going back to fully like modern warfare theme setting, and they've doubled down that they're not going to allow for silly skins being added to the game or anything like that. And they've just gone back to making the gameplay feel like those in terms of the maps and the gunplay. And
Can I ask a really dumb question? I want to ask a really dumb question.
No, you said you haven't
Battlefield
played,
games. Do they feature a campaign storyline, or is it just multiplayer?
Yes, they do mostly. I don't think
they do.
Oh, Peter. Peter. No, I don't remember if 2042 did, because I didn't play it. I only played the multiplayer for like a couple of hours. But
okay. I only know this because I literally looked it up a few minutes ago. But I think it was one of the few games to not have a campaign. And honestly, I wouldn't know otherwise because I've never touched campaign on a Battlefield game. I've just jumped straight into multiplayer. No. Like I may have tried it for like a half hour and been like, this isn't for me. Even in Bad Company, I remember trying single player. Like, why aren't I just playing multiplayer? This isn't nearly as fun.
My image of Battlefield has always been a multiplayer game franchise, not one with a campaign. Whereas Call of Duty is kind of the opposite. I've kind of thought, at least the Black Ops games, I've thought of them predominantly as having a really cool, deliberate campaign, with twists and stuff. But yeah, with Battlefield, I've always just thought of them as just multiplayer games.
Yeah, no, they've always been single player out of necessity, multiplayer first.
I mean, that's why they exploded. The multiplayer. It was so solid.
A couple of them have interesting campaigns though, like Battlefield 1, the game that for me is like the bar for the franchise, the pinnacle, which is the Battlefield 1.
The pinnacle.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Don't speak ill of Bad Company 2, my friend.
I won't speak ill of Bad Company 2. Also, you just got attacked by a cat. Anyway.
Yeah, he just
got fully dove.
How dare you say that about Battlefield?
he was trying to square up to me through the camera. But like, yeah, Clyde. The last one that I really loved was from 2016, and that had a cool campaign because it was anthology, and so Battlefield 1 was a World War I game. So all the multiplayer settings, outfits, weapons, levels in multiplayer were World War I centered, and it had a really cool anthology campaign as well, where you played like 3 or 4 different stories, and a couple of them were actually really good. So that was nice. But no, they've never been a campaign-centric franchise. It's always been multiplayer first. They're kind of there out of necessity.
Well, it's clear that whatever they've hit on recently, whether it is publicly shaming and distancing themselves from the concept of silly skins or tweaking the movement or whatever, but I saw that Battlefield 6 broke 500,000 concurrent players during the beta. That's an incredible achievement during a beta. I mean, like, I'm very excited to see how it launches and honestly to see how COD reacts, because it just seems like a lot of people are dissatisfied with the state of COD, and they're seeing the grass across the street, and they're going, "Hey, it looks better to me." So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how it shakes out.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, well,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, one of the lawns looks, a little lusher than it normally does on the other side, whereas their lawn is starting to look like clown colors.
Yeah. Also, all the other lawns are usually just disastrously abandoned and unkept. People say Call of Duty is like too big to fail and stuff, but the competition has been absent for 10 years. But like Battlefield have just released 2042, and before that, Battlefield 5, the weird like prosthetic alternate universe World War II game that everyone hated, and then Battlefield 2042, which didn't even work. Like that was, like Peter said, that was basically a non-game. Like no one played that. It was abysmal. And then what else are you going to talk about in terms of competition? What, Halo? They released one and it was one of the worst. Okay. So like I said, there hasn't been a lawn to jump to for a long time now. So this is, now that one exists, everyone is like, if you imagine like people trying to dive off of like a sinking ship, and everyone's like, like stampeding over each other. That's how I kind of imagine it right now. But yeah.
I feel like there's always been a lot of crossover between Call of Duty and Battlefield players, just because how similar they are. I mean, obviously they'll have their, exclusive players, but I feel like they're just so close that it's hard to only have experienced one and not the other,
But I've always crossed over. I've crossed over my whole life between both. Yeah, well, between any FPS basically. Yeah.
I have to say I've been mostly a Battlefield fan, only because since 3, like they just kind of jumped the shark, and they just kind of like I remember when 4. Yeah. After that they kind of went like I said, this really arcadey kind of super fast paced kind of thing that wasn't my jam, and I came from playing like, Quake and stuff like that, where it was it was a much more wackier time, like Quake Arena and Quake 2 and all that, Unreal Tournament.
Ooh, talk about games with good movement, man. You grew up on games with fun movement. Dang.
It was fun movement, yeah. But like the time to kill in Call of Duty game, where it's just like you're dead. It's I never got used to that, which is why seeing it in Battlefield is kind of shocking. But
yeah.
I mean, overall, I had a pretty good impression of the game, even from this small little bit of it I got to see. And honestly, I wasn't that excited that it was coming out, and I could care less. And then I played the beta, and I'm like, you know what? This could actually be cool.
Let them cook. Yeah. I mean, just back to the basics. I think. What do you think about the visuals, Peter? I think it looks and runs great. I had some issues with trying to make it look not blurry on my PC, but once I think it was maybe TAA or some sort of anti-aliasing combination that I was using. But as soon as I flipped a few things on and off, I managed to get it to look not blurry, which was a massive relief because I was worried that the game was just fucked. But like I was running it on ultra with like very high frame rates and no dips, no dips, no stutters. So in beta, it was performing very well on my PC.
Normally I spend a lot of time tweaking the graphics and stuff, especially when a game first comes out, just to get it just perfect so it looks as good as it can while running as well as it can.
Yeah.
Because when it starts dropping below like 100 or 90 frames, then I start panicking.
Oh my god.
But I'm so spoiled. I'm so spoiled.
No, I'm absolutely the same. Yeah.
But it looks great. And it runs pretty well. I think me and you, Sean, were talking about this. There's just something about, I don't know if it's the visuals or the movement. It just feels off. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe off, is it? Yeah, I guess off, just different. Like, yeah. I don't know if it's. I think it is just speed. I mean, this goes into the next thing I was going to talk about anyway, because the whole game feels different because the maps that we had access to in the beta, 2 of them were like pretty small, really urban maps.
Yeah, tiny. Yeah.
And then one of them was supposed to be the bigger of the 3, and it is, but it's still, that map was still very small compared to like Battlefield 3 and 4 maps. Am I going crazy or is that right?
It's still like that mountain in the middle. Yeah. It just takes up so much of the map that I won't say it's basically 2 choke points, but you basically have 2 paths, you know. Yeah. And then there's a little bit of cover between those, but it just devolves into a bottleneck on either side, you know?
Yeah. And that's what made it feel small.
That speaks about map design when you have bottlenecks like that, and there's not many ways, you know, to go around or to hit at different areas. And that, like, I kind of saw that issue with the city maps too. Like,
just 2
like the game where they had. Yeah, like the game where they had 2 tanks for like the whole game. They just had 1 tank on one side and 1 tank on the other side, and like you just couldn't get in, you know.
Maybe that's just the map philosophy they're going for.
Yeah, it's weird, but I mean, I'll give them that though. That this is only 3 out of whatever they
9.
have.
I want to say 9. That's the number that's coming into my head. Yeah.
All right, so it's only a third. So
one of them being Operation Firestorm.
I'll withhold my judgment. Yeah. I'll wait to see what they pull out, and then obviously they're going to add more down the line.
Oh, they basically said already that they're going to add all like fan favorites, which is I think we could have expected.
Oh yeah,
because they added them all.
Yeah. Oh man, if they add Bad Company 2 maps, I am in. That had some of the most fun, solid maps. Yeah.
I mean, there are also this Battlefield Portal thing from 2042 is returning. Do you even know what that is? Because that was exclusive to 2040. It's like it's like mod tools basically. The community can make their own like using weapons and maps and from whatever kind of, you know, well in 2042 the way it works was you could pick like modern guns or World War II guns, etc. even though they weren't in the base game. And you could also pick like World War II maps and things like that, even though they weren't in the base game. And you could also fuck around with the rules and basically make the game, like, you know, for example, if you wanted to make it milsim, you could. That was the idea anyway. I remember it being shit, but like that concept is returning in this game. It's confirmed to come back. Battlefield Portal.
I could see that being cool. If it depends a lot on the execution, but anytime you give player controls over custom content, even if it's just custom servers, like huge plus, you know. Like what was it? Forage on Halo?
Yeah.
Right? Like I saw some of the most awesome stuff come from that. Like the community is so creative. And when you allow them to make stuff like that, like even Nintendo with the Smash Brothers Ultimate, they allowed people to make custom stages, and you saw some really wacky, crazy, imaginative stuff. Yeah. It's awesome to see that kind of stuff. So the more you allow the players to you know do that, even Overwatch, right? They allowed some pretty complicated custom games with that. You know, you could play like hide and seek or freeze tag or, you know, parkour simulator or whatever. There's a lot of wacky stuff you could do.
Yeah.
So I think just the idea is great. Hopefully they don't flub it like they did last time though.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, like
Can I ask I'm curious, based on what y'all played in the beta, does Battlefield 6, is it going to get a buy from you? Is this going to get $70 from you, or is this a day one? Or I'm curious.
Yeah, it's a pre-order.
I'm definitely interested. Yeah, I don't know if I'd pre-order, but I'm definitely gonna grab it. I haven't seen like a game that's kind of like that. You know, it's like Sean was saying. You know, the competition for Call of Duty wasn't really much, and Battlefield is kind of, you know, ignoring each other. You know, the COD and the Battlefield. And me being more of a Battlefield guy, I've kind of held off from the Call of Duty games. So for me, just a Battlefield game that's, you know, the bar is so low from 5, right?
Yep.
And from 4 and 3, like ignoring 1, which was awesome. Like just something that just brings us back to the generic Battlefield universe. Like I like that, but it felt more than that. So I'm definitely excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
I mean,
that's amazing. That's amazing that that you go in with it not even being on your radar, and a beta could be so much fun that you're like, I'm there, I'm down. Like that's pretty impressive. That's a good beta, you know. And I'm glad that y'all had that experience or had that opportunity to play.
It's definitely on my radar for a long time. It wasn't on Peter's, but it's definitely been on my radar for a long time.
Wasn't even considering it, which is great. Which is a good reason for companies to even do betas outside of just testing their servers and.
But that seems like that seems like the last reason they do it nowadays.
Right. Usually they go for the free player testing and stuff. Mm-hmm. But man, it really stirs up a lot of excitement in the community when you throw out a beta and people are like, "This game's actually good." Because word of mouth is much stronger than you know a lot of people think. So I mean, how often do you see a banner for a game and you're like, "Oh, let me click this," right? Like never. I've never. So
yeah, the reason I say like pre-order so confidently is just because there's no universe where it comes out on October 10th or whatever the date is and my friends are playing it and I don't get it. So I'm like, I may as well just take the hit now. Like there's no universe. There's no universe where I'm not buying this. I know what's going to happen. October 10th is going to roll around. I'm going to have like 7 friends playing it. I've been like a lifelong Battlefield fan. Is there any universe where I don't get that? No, there is not.
I mean, it's awesome to see the reception from early access or from the beta, and I mean, 500,000 players in beta. That's pretty crazy. I mean, how was the online performance? Did y'all encounter server issues or connection issues, or was it pretty good?
No, it was
really?
They had a queue set up, but I was never in the queue for a long time. Only a couple of minutes.
Yeah, they had a queue, and I was like 40,000th place in the queue, but it within like I want to say like 40 seconds or something I was in. But,
I guess because it had so much traffic that people were closing it as fast as people were opening it. So
yeah, it's massive. But but my issue with it was when I just tried to run it. Okay, first it gave me a message about
oh shit, yeah,
auto hotkey was running on my system, and I'm like, holy crap, really? That's an issue, and I haven't really used it. I think I had a script for it for Adobe Premiere or something. But that was it. And so I'm like, you know what? I'll uninstall it. If I need it later, I'll just reinstall it. Uninstalled it. And then it gave me another error about secure boot wasn't on my system. So I had to restart my system, dig around the BIOS for the secure boot option, turn that on, restart my system. And then it gave me the auto hotkey error again. And I had to Google it, and I found a bunch of Reddit threads, and people were just popping up with all this random software that was triggering the auto hotkey detection. And Sean witnessed it. I was just closing everything on my system.
Going down a list,
and it still wouldn't run.
Google Chrome, Windows 60, Windows 10.
Explorer.exe looks sus to me.
I think it was either like the NVIDIA app or like my mouse software. Something really basic like that was triggering it. So I eventually got it working, but I'd never struggled so much with a cheat detection. It was, I mean, I guess it's thorough, but maybe a bit too much so.
Yeah, I don't understand how those cheat detection things work, because like I will run like so many programs in the background, and I also always, I don't know if these make a difference, but I always have like the shadow play or the AMD equivalent on and things like that. But it's always the most random thing that like triggers the anti-cheat. It's never the obvious things.
Right. Well, it's looking for stuff that
controls a game potentially,
manipulates the inputs of a game. So auto hotkey, obviously auto hotkey. I could see that, but like all this other software people are talking about, like it's so weird. So something about a hook. You know, I don't know software terms like that, but the way it interfaces with the software is what triggers it.
Yeah, well, I had back to your question, Clyde. I had personally, I think I had 0 technical issues apart from the thing where I said the game looked blurry, but that's not a technical issue. That was just me fucking with like settings, video settings. There was no server lag. I mean, the netcode wasn't great because I've seen some horrendous clips of people getting fucked over by netcode. But there wasn't like what I'm saying is there wasn't like obvious lag in the game, as in like moving around and shooting and stuff. There was never any like rubber banding or anything. It was
there was a bunch of any sort of wacky movement was the physics engine 100%, which was kind of buggy a lot. I'd see people like jiggling all over the place, and it made for some funny body flying it through the air from some deaths. But it's kind of a minor gripe. Although it felt like they had some visibility issues,
Oh, they do. That's one of the worst things.
Yeah, so that was kind of rough.
What do you mean visibility? Like just fog effects in game, or?
Yeah, wouldn't you say it's like a fog or something, or something like that?
Well, the main occasions where I noticed it are where you are inside a building looking out, or vice versa. You're outside a building looking in. Because of the way they've made the lighting look realistic, where they kind of expose out the other extreme of the light of like the light environment that you're in, that led to like bad visibility a lot of times. I saw a lot of clips of it on YouTube, and I just noticed it in every game myself as well. So if you were inside a building and you tried to look out of a doorway, because they've tried to make the visual engine look like a real camera, obviously, the outside daylight just looks like blown out. This isn't just a Battlefield thing. This happens in a lot of games, but it was very strong in this game. The outdoors looks completely blown out, like white, until you walk over to it, and then it focuses back in the outdoors. That happened a lot in this game, and it also was vice versa. When you tried to look inside, it just looked black. Like inside doorways just looked black sometimes. And that, I think
that's
that got
not
me
a
killed.
Only problem.
No, but that got me killed a couple of times in the beta because there was someone shooting me and I was probably obvious to them, but I couldn't see anything on my screen. It was just completely blown out. Yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting. The reason I asked about like launches and beta performance is like one of my favorite games. Not shading any Path of Exile fans out there. I love Path of Exile. Love grinding gear games, but yeah, damn, y'all got to work on your server issues. Their launches, they've released 30 leagues by now, or 30 seasons, and every launch is a nightmare. It's always DC servers going down, players dealing with a long, prolonged queue, random frequent disconnects. Sometimes they've even had to roll back progress. I mean, it's like they've done this 30 times. Like 30 times they've launched new leagues and new mechanics, and they just haven't figured out the performance issues. And it's honestly, I'm glad to hear that Battlefield 6 is like they've cracked the code. They know how to do it. If I was at Grinding Gear Games, I would hire whoever's doing the data infrastructure for Battlefield, because that's impressive. 500,000 players in your beta, like they did not expect that many people to show up for their beta, and to have everything run as smoothly as it did, like Peter said, a 40k queue in 10 seconds, that's crazy. That is absolutely wild. Like, man, they're doing something right over there. Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
I mean, I partly agree with they weren't expecting it. I definitely don't think they were expecting 500k, but I think they were ready for the potential outcome that 500k people try and play the beta, because like I said, the way it all played out with 0 hitches was like they were absolutely prepared for the potential, because every time a beta does this, like through my lifetime anyway, it's always technical issues, like every time. I think this might be the first time where there's been no like outage, no unbelievably long queue. I mean, for these like popular things, like usually launches or betas is what I'm referring to. This one was probably the smoothest one I've ever seen. There was no issues at all, considering it was so popular, like in context to that. So I think I think someone at DICE was thinking like, I think like an unbelievable amount of people might play this just because we have we have all the pieces on the boards, right? We have all the pieces on the board right now. Like I could see this blowing up, and they may be prepared to potentially, I don't know how it works, open up a ton of servers or open up some more infrastructure. I'm just using jargon. I don't know, but you know what I mean. But I think they were definitely prepared to do that.
Yeah.
Congrats to them, because that's a successful beta if I've ever seen one. The fact that it's got people who weren't considering a purchase now going, hey, this is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself. Yeah, I'd throw $70 on this. That's a good beta. That is a good sign of a good beta.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the comparison to COD and how this game might affect COD or vice versa a little bit? Just because I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I feel like a lot of the changes were directly in regards to making it more adaptable to COD players, as far as the speed and the time to kill and stuff, because it definitely seems different than the rest of the Battlefield series, wouldn't you say?
I would say I definitely I know this isn't what you're saying. I definitely think it still comfortably feels Battlefield. Like, I think there's a couple of people out there.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple of people out there potentially exaggerating, saying that it's like, like they've just turned it, they just turned the movement into Call of Duty. Like, it's got like demon movement and stuff like that. I'm like, it really doesn't. Like, even if you go back and look at 3 and 4, you could jump around like a fucking seal in that game as well. Like, it's not completely unique to this game, but this game, like you said, this game definitely is faster in terms of like sprint speed and the slide. Oh my god, slide! Fuck slide! Fuck slide! I forgot I wanted to rant about slide so bad. I'm sorry, Clyde, but like I have this.
What's wrong with slide? I like slide. Slide's fun.
I have this built-up contempt for slide in games because I feel like it just gets added out of this made-up necessity, like pressure in every FPS game of all time since like Titanfall came out. They're all like Halo, like Halo Infinite. They were like, oh yeah, we're making this. We're going back to our roots. They weren't. Going back to our roots, like, look at this game, look at the Halo 3, like, coat of paint, look at them. Oh, but we added slide. Like, why of all things slide? Why is slide the only thing that no matter what the developers say about how they want to, their philosophy for reinventing a franchise or a sequel or the philosophy regarding movement, no matter what they say, they still put slide in the game every time. It's like they just think that they have to when they don't. I promise you they don't. I promise if an FPS game came out right now without slide, no one would care. No one would care. It wouldn't remove anything. It would remove like a little bit of the really advanced like movement tech, but slide is just not that necessary. It isn't. Sorry, I ran over.
To confirm, can you shoot while you're sliding? Can you like be in the slide animation and gunning people down?
No, I don't think. Not in, can you? I don't remember.
Yeah, couldn't you?
I don't remember.
Okay. Like, what is it about slide that's so like, rah, like why anti-slide? Is it just it's just hard to hit opponents?
Well, the reason I'm anti-slide is just because it's in every game. I really don't think there's an implementation of slide that's like pissed me off. I don't know. But
gotcha.
I'm different. I hate slide in Call of Duty. That was so lame.
In Call of Duty, it's a bit obnoxious. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Call of Duty sliding and what's it, drop shooting or whatever they call it, where you just immediately go prone and in the air or whatever. Like, that stuff pissed me off. Like, I hated it. As a Battlefield player, that was just something where it's just always immediately upset me whenever I saw it, and I refused to do it myself. And the few times I did do it, I just felt disgusting.
Yeah, I worry that slide is like a mainstay in FPS. I really worry. It's like games went a long time without slide. We can survive without slide again. Putting it in Halo was the thing that was the nail in the coffin for like, oh my god, this is it. We're stuck with slide forever in every FPS because they would put it in literally anything. Halo, the game where like for the majority of the games until it was handed off to a different franchise, it was just boots on the ground, gun up movement the entire time. So just walking, no sprint, no slide. You're always just moving the thumbstick left or right or forward and backwards, But no slide. That needed slide apparently, according to some people. Slide was a necessary implementation to that system. Okay, I'm done. I'm done popping off a slide. It's not even that annoying. In Battlefield 6, I think some people acted on Twitter like oh, slide, you got COD kids sliding around, everyone's sliding around, jumping around, killing me. I'll be honest, I got killed by like a COD movement kid maybe like once or twice in the whole beta. I really didn't think it was that much of an issue because it's still Battlefield. As long as you play like Battlefield, you'll probably win anyway, if that makes sense.
Yeah, my whole time playing, which wasn't that long, just a couple hours, versus Sean, which played at least several weeks during those few days. I didn't see a single person slide, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
because I know in Call of Duty it was like every other person running around a corner was sliding or jumping or doing some, drop shooting BS. So, I guess I can't see it getting that bad.
No,
even though I agree with you, it's out of place. The fact that they didn't make it to a point that it's integral to gameplay or anything is a plus.
It's definitely more for cinematics and drama, which is definitely a better way of doing it. But yeah, like I said, I feel like the game is so Battlefield quintessentially enough that if you play like you've been playing Battlefield back in the day, you'll probably won't have any issues or any movement demons, because I think you'll probably win anyway. As long as your aim's okay and you're playing like strategically, I don't think there's anything a little COD Mountain Dew junkie can really do. Like, they might get like a few kills and stuff, but you still gotta. But the game is still very much a Battlefield game. It's not like this game hasn't like transformed into COD or anything. You still have to play Battlefield. So I really don't think it's
my biggest gripe that pushes the needle more towards COD play is the time to kill. Like, I can't remember a Battlefield that had such a low time to kill as this game.
It's blazing sometimes.
I'm sure COD players are like completely unused to it, to a point where they're like, what's the issue? I don't see it,
Yeah.
So I just remember it being a tad bit slower, to where, if someone peeked, you couldn't empty half a clip into them, which gave it a bit more strategy to it, and how you approach stuff. And but even saying that, I still enjoyed it. So yeah, it's not as bad.
Honestly,
as some.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, like, if the game launched with that time to kill, I'd probably be happy. Like, I would be happy with it being a bit slower. But if this was it, I'd take it. I'd still take it, because I do enjoy, peeking around a corner and just like melting someone real quick with a gun that I've built to have like low recoil. It's satisfying. It's nice. I don't hate it. I had a few really good games.
That's your COD player is showing.
It is a little bit. Like, I don't know. I had a couple of like 50, 60 kill games, and at no point in those games was I complaining that my time to kill was too fast. I was like the opposite. But I absolutely understand that it is maybe, it makes the game feel very like you said earlier, like arcade respawning all the time, like Call of Duty-ish. When you're dying very fast and you're being revived very fast, this kind of devolves into like chaos a little bit. And I felt that in the beta quite a lot. Chaos, like not organized chaos, which is what Battlefield normally is. I mean, like, or disorganized chaos, like that map where it's completely inside like buildings. The map that I think we both agree we didn't like very much. That map is just unorganized chaos, like dying, being revived, people behind you, people in front of you. Very, very. That feels like when the spawns flip in Call of Duty. Like, it's a very similar sort of sensation. But yeah,
someone who's kind of strayed away from Call of Duty since they went away from the World War II games, it feels a little out of place. Yeah, because there's a bit more structure to that chaos in Battlefield games. Like,
exactly.
There's a more coherent front line, like you could look on the map and you can see the player pings, and you could see generally where, the enemy forces roughly were and where your forces were. And a lot of these maps, they're just dots all over the place. Everyone's going everywhere.
Yeah.
I won't say it devolved to deathmatch, but it definitely moved a bit closer towards it, which for a Battlefield game felt odd. But I mean, that said, I did still have fun, and I'm still gonna play it. Just something I gotta get used to for this version.
But,
yeah,
I mean, we are overanalyzing the fuck out of it, but it is important to say that all this was fun over the weekend. So yeah.
Yeah, we gotta nitpick some stuff.
But we do. It's fun. It's discussion, and we made it clear at the beginning. Anyway, we had a great time. It's just
yeah.
I mean, it's not just us. These are being kind of really hit home. These points, just because people want Battlefield 6 to be as good as it can be, and these things that we just mentioned are like huge talking points right now. The time to kill, the maps being too small, I think is the most prominent thing I've heard. Like through looking at other people's discourse, that's every YouTube video people are saying the maps were too small. I hope the other 6 maps, at least like half of them, are way bigger than this. Like way bigger, because they're far too small. Even the outdoor map, I feel like you could run across it in a couple of minutes. It's just not that large.
No, and the thing is, like, the points are really close together, and the way they're laid out, like I was talking about the mountain in the middle, they just kind of surround the mountain.
Yeah.
You know? So you just get the points on one side, and you just have this dominance because you no longer need to protect the point in the middle because now you have the points on either side, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas it used to be kind of like a pentagram like situation where or at any point you could attack any point from any other point, no matter which point. It made things a lot more dynamic. But in this one, it's almost like you lock in a point because of the bottlenecks and the way the map is structured, which doesn't make it as fun, and it devolves to just outside version of Metro in some areas.
in some cases, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't mention this yet, but sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say you've given me the ultimate T-shirt idea. We need to get, what was the phrase you used? Mountain Dew COD junkie. Mountain Dew COD.
Oh, that T-shirt probably already exists.
I need that on a T-shirt, like now, like proud Mountain Dew COD junkie or whatever you said. Like, oh man, I loved it. Like,
there's an actual Halo 3 version of Mountain Dew. And it's called like Gamer Fuel or something like that.
I remember drinking it back in the day. Some people still have those, and they're like a rarity now. It was for the, although unfortunately, I think it was for the release of Halo 4, which is painful to think back to because that was hype. Like when that Mountain Dew was coming out, it was hype. But Halo 4 didn't hit, like at least for me and like the boys anyway. Halo 4 didn't hit. But yeah, there was the orange. It's like an orange red Halo Mountain Dew. Yeah, it's a throwback.
But, society has crumbled and all currency is gone. We will trade in Gamer Fuel Mountain Dew.
And Call of Duty Doritos.
And Call of Duty Doritos.
Oh shit, yeah. I mean, back to the Call of Duty comparison, because I think that's what I was trying to talk about. I don't remember. Sidetracked constantly, which is good. But like the big thing is this. The big thing is the fact that EA, DICE, whatever, have quite confidently taken a stance that they are not going to add silly, unrealistic clown skins to the game. And I think that was honestly, in my opinion, that's a big part of the overwhelming support for this game. The fact that people have been like, people have kind of fallen into numbness and apathy because we're so used to it right now. And when Activision, like I said, they've been dominating the market for a long time now. So if these skins are making them billions and billions and billions, if everyone's going to cry and say they don't like it, they don't care. Because what are the fans going to do? They don't have a competition to move to, at least not for Call of Duty because it's so popular. So what are the fans going to do? They're going to keep playing and they're going to keep buying. So it doesn't matter if they don't like it, that Activision are just going to keep doing that. But that seems to no longer be the case because Battlefield have come out with this stance saying that they're not going to do that. And now finally it looks like there's somewhere for these people who are just absolutely come to the breaking point, like fed up of games that have no identity, basically. Games that have no identity, no theme, no vibe. And Battlefield 6 looks like it's one of those games, like I'm sure you picked up on it in the beta as well, Peter. This game has a fucking vibe. This game has a massive vibe, and a big part of it is everyone wearing the uniforms. I think people really underestimate how important that is. Everyone having like war accurate, or you know what I mean, like everyone having realistic-ish voice lines, and also wearing like even doesn't even matter what faction it is, but wearing matching uniform Just everyone wearing matching uniform. I think that's so cool. When you and the boys are in the game and you're in your squad, and then you've also got like random people running past you, and you're all wearing matching uniform, but you've all got like your medic skin, your recon skin.
It gives you a sense of unity,
and it's cool,
and cohesion, and like you feel like you're in a battle.
Yeah.
You're not just playing with a bunch of superheroes, or pretending to be your own special guy. You're actually
that's it. You're not a special guy. You are just a fucking you're just a pawn.
But what's wrong if I want to be a Ninja Turtle in my War Acura game? No, I totally get it. I actually, I want to say, I'm working on a Black Ops episode for Not Your Friend, rebranded to Salt Buff, and feel free to cut that. Yeah, I don't need a plug. But
so do I need to change your name? I need to change your name on the overlay.
Wait, what was it?
I apologize.
Change my name. Change my name for sure.
Apologize.
What were you creating it for?
For my YouTube channel, but do not. You don't need to plug that. Feel free to delete that. Or you cut that.
Let's delete this. Let's delete this.
Don't plug my shit.
Delete him saying his name.
Don't plug my shit.
I was saying, are you crazy?
Wait. Wait. Is he talking about your YouTube channel? Not my friend.
Oh my gosh, Peter! I'm gonna kill you.
His name is changed.
Okay. I'll kill you. My name is changed.
I just want to make sure he's talking about Not Your Friend. Because did I get it right? Is it Not Your Friend?
Should I go subscribe to Not Your Friend right now? I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's Not Your Friend. Okay. All right. I don't know. I thought it was Not My Friend, but it's Not Your Friend. Okay. Just making sure.
I'm gonna reach through the screen. Anyways, no, I was saying I've been doing research for a COD episode, and I want to say this quote that we're talking about, the Battlefield 6 design director saying this game doesn't need Nicki Minaj. I think this is a super deliberate statement at a super specific time. And people being look how wholesome they're being. No, this is marketing 101, and it could not be more effective right now. It could not be they are seeing the dislike ratios on every new skin that comes out, on every new COD, YouTube video, and they're going, wow, the Beavis and Butthead skin is controversial. All these new skins are controversial, and conveniently, COD's design or Battlefield design director is like, we don't need Nicki Minaj. It's super deliberate, and it is like a masterclass in marketing. You don't need to pay 1 million ads. This one quote has now been spammed across 10, 50, 100 different gaming sites by not even paying for it. They didn't even pay for it. All they said was, our game doesn't need Nicki Minaj. Boom. It gets in front of millions of gamers' eyeballs, and it connects with them at a very deliberate time. All I know is they should. This is the kind of shit they should study in marketing classes, because it is relevant. It speaks to that consumer. Oh man, I tip my hat to this design director. This was not a flippant remark said in an interview. It was a deliberate, calculated, and it made headlines overnight for a very good reason. I'm very impressed.
You know what's funny about that? I bet Nicki Minaj is sitting at home scrolling Twitter and going, "What the fuck did I do? What does this have to do with me?"
I'm in a video game. Yeah, you were in that video game, lady.
You
Meanwhile, Doja Cat is like, now's my chance.
Get in Battlefield.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Can I point out how absolutely unhinged it is that someone even has to say this in the first place?
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Very much so. This is what universe are we in?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What timeline is this? Where we've got Nicki Minaj, Ninja Turtles, American Dad cartoons just killing each other. It's oh man, COD has lost the plot, and I'm not surprised that gamers are flocking to Battlefield 6, and I'm glad people are having good experiences with it.
You know what? In a good, correct timeline, this would set a precedent for the industry, and Call of Duty would announce, and obviously it's too late for the next one, but the game after that, they'd be like, look at this hyper-real... not hyper-realistic, it's still Call of Duty, but look at this themed game. Look at this themed game with a consistent setting and an art style and a vibe. If Call of Duty did that, I'd be so happy. I would be so happy. I'd be like, please just creatively express yourself and just keep it. Just keep it. Just resist the urge. Resist the urge to put something in a shop. Just please.
One was so good that it actually felt like they were trying. Obviously they really gave a lot of artistic license with the fully automatic weapons.
Yeah, no one people will pass for stuff like that. People pass like that in Battlefield 1 as well.
But the maps and the costumes, or the uniforms, I should say. And just the gameplay, like it just felt it gelled so well together, and that's what I feel like Battlefield should be more about. So I don't know how to say that in COD terms, but I could definitely see them, from me being lost from disillusioned from them just from early enough in the series. I can only imagine what someone who's actually played it and been okay with that, and then saw something that even they were like, okay, you know what, Call of Duty 4 was fine, but this just is too much for me. So that's got to be pretty out there.
Yeah, it's wild just how much that community itself has like become fragmented, because like there are people who don't even want campaigns in COD games or Black Ops games. They're just like, screw it, I don't even need a campaign anymore. And it's crazy to me that we're in a timeline where you now have 7 different communities that are all shoved into one game or shoved into one brand, and it's like it's really is an interesting situation. And Battlefield's doing the opposite, right? They're basically saying, no, we are only one brand here. We are one vision here. If you're here for the we're here for the realism, or you're not here for this. Like that, get out and go find your other game. And that's a smart, marketing.
And on that topic, COD added the battle royale with Warzone, right?
Well,
which was something. It wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be, but just the fact that now you have that. This was during when everyone was putting battle royales in games. I remember even Battlefield did it. Was it 5 that they did it in?
Not just past tense.
It felt so out of place, So, but yeah, it definitely adds more communities. And then if you put a battle royale in your game, then the people who like that aspect of the game will be expecting it for the next game. So, like
exactly.
you said,
yeah. And now we're at a point where it's like we've got COD that is just like it has to have 7 different integral components, and it's got so many different identities competing inside of it. It's pretty wild. I'm really excited to see how Battlefield does, and the gameplay looks insane. Like I'm not surprised y'all sunk beta hours into this, because like the destructibility, the conflict, like it looks like it hits hard. It looks like it goes hard.
Yeah. While I was listening in, my ears perked up when someone said Battle Royale. Because according to many leaks and rumors that are practically confirmed, Battlefield 6 will have Battle Royale. Bum, bum, bum. What does this mean? Without seeing it, there's no way to know. Could potentially just be a harmless little addition to the game. Could also be their excuse to separate it from the main game and fill it with microtransactions. I can see it. It's not off the table, in my opinion. It's not off the table, because they can be like, well, we said no silly skins, but this isn't Battlefield. This is, you download it through a separate client. It's called Battlefield Firestorm Field Battle Area.
You know what? As someone who probably wouldn't play it, whatever, do what you want. Just keep it out of the main game.
All right.
Keep it out of the main game, and I'm fine with it.
I think you're in the minority there, Peter. I think most fans would reject that. Like, you sold us this game on not advertising Nicki Minaj skins to us, and I boot the game up and I see a Nicki Minaj skin ad. I think they would get.
I don't expect them to go full Call of Duty with the costumes.
No,
and stuff.
I don't.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they're going to segregate a lot of the gameplay and stuff that's different. Honestly, they could go a bit more wacky in that, and I wouldn't care as much. But just that it's kept segregated is fine with me.
Yeah, I think we talked about this yesterday while we were playing. Like, if it comes out and it's just a separate thing, because I haven't been into battle royales for a long time. I've had my phases, but in general, they just make me mad, and I'm not like a big fan. So as long as that came out and it was like separate, and I didn't have to, it wasn't like injected into the main game in ways where it crossover with multiplayer in terms of like skins crossover. If it was a separate entity, obviously I don't care. Obviously, because it's not affecting me. I can just ignore it. So that would be fine. That would be fine.
How did that work in Call of Duty? There was crossover, right? You had skins and both.
So the store in Call of Duty is for both. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Just checking.
Yeah. Like, you go to the main menu in Call of Duty and it's like campaign, zombies, Warzone, multiplayer. Jesus, I'm losing track. There's so many. But anyway.
There's so many.
Yeah, but the store is like, apart from campaign, obviously, the store is across all of those. So in zombies, which this also was a big hit on zombies as well, because Black Ops 6 Zombies actually launched with some pretty cool vibey maps, like creepy maps.
I think it's completely in tune for zombies to have that kind of wackiness, you know?
Are you joking? No way. That's the horror.
What?
That's the horror game mode.
Horror. I mean, come on. Like,
obviously it hasn't been scary for a long time, but it was originally in World at War. It was creepy in World at War.
Yeah, and Call of Duty was a World War II game when it started with some seriousness to it. So
yeah, but do you understand?
they just stray.
Do you understand what I mean when I say
I get the point.
It's like were very vibey, and when you put the skins in it, you rob it. You rob zombies of identity, basically, because everyone is looking at fucking Family Guy characters. you rob things of creative identity. That's basically what it is. And zombies is like a PvE thing, so I feel like it's more important in that.
It's funny. Call of Duty is like ripping off. Well, you could say they're taking inspiration from Fortnite, you know, with all these wacky skins, and then here's Battlefield, you know, taking inspiration from Call of Duty. So it's kind of like the meme where like the guy is looking to the left, you know, while the guy next to him is reaching for his money, and that's, you know, the guy looking to the left is Fortnite, and then Call of Duty is reaching in for the money, and meanwhile on his side, you know, Battlefield is reaching for Call of Duty's money, you know, because they're seeing their loss of customers, and they're like, whoa, look what we got now, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you have your cake and eat it too? I mean, that's what I'm hearing is like COD wants to have its cake and eat it too. It wants to be. Some modes are serious, some modes are playful, some modes are ridiculous, and we're still a masculine, serious game. I think that is a discussion for maybe another time. But I wonder in y'all's minds, do you think that like, a brand can have its cake and eat it too? Like if Battlefield decided, hey, we're gonna throw in Beavis and Butthead skins, and we're just gonna put it in the Battle Royale mode. I think that would tick people off. I think that would people would feel betrayed by that. But I'm curious, what are y'all's thoughts on this?
I've never seen it before. Like whenever a game has a skin, it's always you can use it in every play mode. Like I've just never seen where only this play mode you can have these skins in, right?
Wait, what does COD do that in? I think COD you can use them in any.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Every game I've known of, where you can have a skin, you can use a skin in game mode. You know, I can't you know I can't think of any game where it wasn't like that. So it would definitely be unique if you're like only this game mode has these skins, and that's entirely for reason because they're like we want you to buy this skin and we want you to use it anywhere. You know,
right?
It's part of the sell, and so I could see them hating the idea of doing that as much as the customer would love it.
Yeah, yeah. That was a big controversy when they announced back in Black Ops Cold War, which was the tryout game before the one that's currently running. They announced that you aren't, because there used to always be a cast of 4 that you play as, and they have their own lines in zombies for every single map. That's been how it's been forever. In Cold War, they announced that you can play as the cast, and they'll have some voice lines. They tried to make it sound like it wasn't going to change, but you can also play as whoever you want. You know, so your multiplayer. So they're saying the store skins are going to be usable in zombies as well because for them that adds value. Because the people who play zombies, which has a big community, all of a sudden now they're looking at the store because now they know, okay, I can use these skins in zombies. Let's see if I like any. You know, that's just extra money for Activision, and that was a big controversy at the time because zombies has always had its cast with like unique dialogue and unique animations and unique story moments and stuff, and they acted like this wasn't going to happen, but it was obviously that it would. That it was obvious that it would happen. Those moments started to be diminished because Activision were like, okay, well, if everyone's just playing as their own silly skins anyway, then what's the point of doing any character-specific stuff? So they just didn't, if that makes sense.
You'd probably know better than me as a COD enjoyer.
That came out with such venom.
That's so shady. Like, damn, Peter.
I tried to make it sound silly like codpiece, but you're right. It sounded like a slur or something. But as someone who's kept the series, when would you say was the point they jumped the shark as far as these wacky costumes?
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which I might need a fact check, but I think that's from 2014. So that's over 10 years old at this point. That was the game where clown skins and stuff were introduced, and there was celebrities in it and things like that. I think, if I'm remembering far back enough, I can't remember who, but I think it might have had Snoop Dogg in it at some point. That was such a funny sentence, but like, you know, that was the beginning. But then it was tame. It stayed like that for a couple of years, but then I think like COVID, like Warzone time, because obviously that's when they really started putting effort into the shop, the store. Warzone time was when shit just hit the fan. Like,
right.
That's when
I noticed it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like I want to say the point I noticed it was when they added Homelander to Warzone. And I was like, what?
Yeah, that was a big deal here. Warzone was obviously a push for a lot of the MTX, right? Because it was so popular and it was free to play. So yeah. It's a really perfect sequence of events from Activision's perspective when you think about it. Warzone comes out, it's free. You can buy the skins, but those skins also work in the game that you just paid $70 for. So those people who just paid $70, you're also buying MTX, but so are the Warzone players. Like, oh my god, whew, that was a little bit of a masterclass from Activision right there.
Yep. But PR had dollar signs in their eyes.
Yeah. I mean, unless anyone's got anything else to nail home, I'm happy wrapping up.
Pretty comprehensive.
The Battlefield thing.
I'm really glad y'all are enjoying it. And like, please, Grinding Gear Games, if anyone hears this message, look at how Battlefield took 500,000 players and it was okay. We didn't have to roll back any servers. Please, Grinding Gear Games, please, I beg of you.
Path of Exile deserves better. Is that the Path of Exile, Dave?
Yeah. It is the pack. Every season, it's like you've done this 30 times. Why can't we get this right, please? Like,
okay, Mr. Clyde, you wanted to talk a little bit about this Penguin show. I don't know anything about the Penguin show. I just know it's.
No.
Am I correct in saying this might be one I have to sit out of, which never happens? I'm normally the one who isn't sitting out. Fuck. But I obviously I'll do what I can.
It's a good show. You're missing out.
I know.
It's good.
But like, am I correct in saying it's a sequel, although not really related, but a sequel to Pattinson Batman?
It is a sequel, but it doesn't feature. At least Taylor and I haven't finished it yet, but it doesn't feature like Robert Pattinson running around. They couldn't bring him in, but it is definitely a sequel in the sense that it is set in the same world. It still features the Penguin. They're still referencing and showing other characters that were in the Pattinson movie, like the new mayor, things like that. So, and the thing I love about the Penguin, for anyone like I don't know if there's anybody out there. This is a pet peeve for y'all, but it always drives me nuts when a show picks up after a movie and then they just try to pretend like the things in the movie didn't happen, or like they're like, it's a year later and everything's back to normal. I love that the Penguin, like spoilers for the Robert Pattinson Batman, which is like now several years old at this point, but at the end of that movie, Gotham gets flooded. Like the Riddler blows up a bunch of dams and the city gets completely flooded. And I love that the start of the Penguin is them basically telling like what's happening with the city and how the city's like how a lot of the poorer areas have been flooded and like how crime is kind of adapted and changed a little bit. I just love that it picks up basically right where that. I think it's like a 2-week time skip, but it basically picks up with a really nice little montage of like, here's what the mayor's been saying in those 2 weeks. Here's what the Batman's been doing. Here's what the Penguin's doing. Oh my gosh. Like, I love that when shows don't yada yada away the source material or the precursor. Like, I hate when shows do that. But the reason Taylor and I found it is because we finished Andor and we were left with a big sad hole in our hearts because Andor was so good. We had nothing to watch. So that's how we arrived at the Penguin. But I guess, Peter, you've probably finished it by now, right? Are you totally caught up with it, or you've watched all of the Penguin?
Yeah, I'm up to end of season 2 now.
Nice. Yeah, we just started season 1. We're 2 or 3 episodes in, and it's really good. It's definitely a crime show. It's definitely like a mafioso kind of crime show, but it's pretty good. So, Sean, if you like the Robert Pattinson Batman and you like that dreary, Gotham-y, underworldy vibe, like I think you'd enjoy it. Like,
it keeps the it keeps the vibe of the movie, and without including some of the less desirable stuff like the bad pacing or anything like that, because man, that thing drug on for a while. But yeah, just the whole like I think we were talking about this before when I was talking about like the OG Batman was kind of like its take on dark Gotham, was just so fresh at the time. And it kind of feels like that again, like when superheroes are like so bright and colorful and full of, like silly, one-liners and stuff like that. And then we have the Penguin, which is back to just dark dreariness and like gritty, visceral, completely unexpected from a spin-off of a superhero show, I must say. I'm surprised with how much I enjoyed it, and it is like a crime show or something like that, and it's crazy how it's about the bad guy, and he's bad. He is
bad. So it's not like it's not like a but from this perspective, it's not like a slight to like redemption or anything like that.
Like we see a lot of different angles of him and a lot of different reasons. But like ultimately, we see that he's quite a bastard. Like he's a villain for a reason. And like even knowing this, how shitty he treats people, we still kind of root for him, which just goes to show just how well it's written. And it's so enjoyable. So I'd highly recommend it. I think you'd like it. If you're not hooked by the first episode, then you probably won't like it. I think by the first episode, I was like, if it's all just more of this, I will keep watching. And it was just that.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Yeah.
It's good stuff. And I agree. It really keeps the dark, Gotham-y, rainy, dreary vibes. Like, I love that aesthetic. Like, I'm a huge fan of like, I basically love like any kind of steampunk or dreary aesthetic in games and movies, and I freaking loved it in the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. Like, I just love they were staring out the window and it's all rainy and we're all pensive and it's like so emo. We have our black eyeliner on. I freaking love that. I love those vibes, and it does nail those vibes too. Like, it feels very like sepia tone, browns, blacks, dark colors, and everyone you meet is a seedy character, and everyone will stab you in the back given the opportunity. Like, you have to be very careful, and it's pretty interesting. The acting is pretty good too. Like the actor, I don't want to spoil who pops up, and like because there are some other characters from Batman lore that pop up. I mean, at least I'm assuming even more pop up as the show goes on. But the characters we've seen so far have been really strong. The performances are great, and like low key, just the makeup and the effects on Colin Farrell is just incredible. Like, it is wild how much they change Colin Farrell. Like the whole bodysuit they put on this guy. It's incredible. Yeah. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. Like, and there's like not a spoiler. There's a lot of zoomed in shots of him where it's like really gritty and close up, and you cannot tell it is a bodysuit at all. At least I can't. I mean, I don't work in that world, so maybe like someone in that industry.
It's very well done. I must say, I wasn't very familiar with Colin Farrell before this, so when people are like, "Oh man, it's completely transformed," I looked up a photo of him. I'm like, that's him? What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Wild. You haven't seen any Colin Farrell movies though, really? You're not familiar with Colin Farrell at all?
No. What are some of his big ones?
He does weird movies. He loves weird movies. So like he did a movie called In Bruges like many years ago, and he likes as that director. He does weird stuff. The one that we saw like in the last 2 or 3 years is a movie called The Lobster. Have y'all seen him? Have y'all heard of a movie called The Lobster?
I've heard of a movie called The Lobster. Yeah.
You've heard of it? What do you know about it? What do you know about it, Sean?
Is it related to body horror?
No.
Okay, that's a different movie.
No, it's.
No, forget.
No. Not really. That would be no. Okay. I know about it. Body horror. No. I have to tell you. Okay, I have to give me 2 minutes. I have to tell you about this movie called The Lobster. Okay. This is the weirdest movie you will ever see in your entire life. So The Lobster is Colin Farrell, and maybe hopefully you can put up like some graphic of the maybe like the actor or the poster or something, but. Basically, the premise of the movie is Colin Farrell plays this guy in this world. And if you're not married by a certain age, society in this world dictates that they're going to turn you into an animal of your choice. Okay, so everyone has to get married and reproduce by a certain age. And if you're not like that, then they're going to turn you an animal. So there's these clinics they set up where people go to deliberately fall in love. They deliberately go to like find their soulmate and be compatible. And they ask him when he arrives there, if you are unsuccessful in finding a mate, what animal would you like to be? And he says, I want to be a lobster. Make me a lobster. Okay, so that's the 2-second premise of the movie. If that's not already the weirdest premise ever, that is the weirdest fucking premise ever. But
it's pretty weird, yeah.
But wait, the craziest thing about this movie, the thing that will blow your mind, I'm trying to curse, the thing will blow your mind is the entire movie is acted so weirdly. Everyone in the movie talks like this, okay?
Okay, go. Audition.
Hello. I'm Colin Farrell. I am looking for a mate. And then a woman will walk up and be like, hello, my name is Janine. Are you looking for a mate? It'll come back to Colin Farrell. Yes, I am looking for a mate. And then they'll start talking. And the way they date is they'll be like, what are your interests? Oh, I like tennis. Do you like tennis? No, I do not like tennis. And that is like, it is so weird. The dialogue is so weird in this movie, and it's so emotionless. Like the director was trying to make a commentary about like how we're posturing when we're trying to find romantic partners, but that's not the interesting one. The interesting thing is in this movie, like the way that you find romantic partners is you find commonalities. So all the partners, like they always like try to find commonalities. Like, do you speak French? No, I do not speak French. I'm sorry. Do you speak German? Oh, yes, I speak German. We share that commonality. We both speak German. And it is so weird. It is freaking bizarre. Wow. It is so freaky.
That feels like such a strong commentary on dating nowadays. Like the dating scene it's like you're just like going through your list of things that you like and like and trying to find, similarities in hobbies and likes and stuff like that. And when there isn't, then you just think, oh, we must not be compatible. Like it's so weird. I mean,
the movie has a wild ending, and I don't want to spoil it for y'all or for anybody out there, but I will just say, if you're ever in the mood for like a weird avant-garde kind of like Colin Farrell movie, like The Lobster is a trip. And you will never forget the ending. I wouldn't say that I liked the movie. The movie's very awkward and very weird. And it honestly made me feel like cringe in a weird way. Like, I'm like, what is this acting? I can't enjoy this. But the ending is spellbinding. So, like, it's one of those movies that, like, crazy.
How do they turn them into creatures?
They don't ever explain
I was curious.
That.
Do you mean they become a person who looks like a lobster, or they literally become a lobster?
They become a lobster. Like they have a girl walk into a room and she comes out a llama, and it's like, okay, it's a MacGuffin machine off screen. It is very spaghetti. Right. The movie is very, very much a social commentary about dating. It's like you said, Peter. It's great. It is definitely a wild movie. But Colin Farrell does weird movies. In Bruges is also kind of weird. There's a lot of weird movies that he does. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to lose that tangent. The Lobster, check it out. You will definitely be like, this is the weirdest movie Clyde's ever recommended. But it's not Andor, and it's not the Penguin. But Colin Farrell likes to do weird stuff.
It reminds me of a terrible date I had.
Hold on.
Where I met this woman. I met this woman.
No, I want to hear this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was somewhere to eat. But I remember we were going over our, hobbies and the kind of stuff we like and stuff, because that's what dating has devolved to. And I remember, so she's asking me, what kind of music do I like, and like, what are your favorite kind of movies, and I was like, I like, a whole lot of different movies. I'd say the shorter list was what I don't like. Like, I probably don't like, I don't like musicals too much. How about you? She's like, my favorite movies are musicals.
Oh, fuck.
I was just like, oh, fuck. And then you could just tell, like, she was just absolutely devastated after that. Like, there's no way we could possibly be together now, And it was just like, oh my god, like,
damn.
Yeah. It's weird because like the dating profiles do that too. It's like, this is what I like. I hope you like it too, Instead of talking about like the kind of person they are, kind of person they're looking for, they just go over like their favorite music, their favorite movies, and their favorite hobbies. And as long as you have the same as them, then we're totally compatible, Yeah. So I totally see that. Yeah.
There's so many profiles that are like, don't message me if you're Republican, or don't message me if you don't believe in blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like I see those all the time.
Don't message me if you're 5'11" or under.
Right, yeah.
Now you're getting turned into a cow.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. The Lobster is definitely a weird time. I will say, the reason Taylor and I saw it is because like someone put together like the top 10 most romantic movies for Valentine's Day, and we watched it for Valentine's Day. It is not a good Valentine's Day movie. It is not a happy romantic It is a terrible Valentine's Day movie. It is not like the kind of movie that you're like, oh, this is so sweet. It has a shocking, violent ending, and it will blow people's minds. So yeah, like, yeah, it's. I don't know if I want to use the word like Saw movie. Like it becomes pretty bad. It becomes it is a shocking, horrifying ending. Yeah, it's not good. Like, yeah,
what the fuck? Anyway, why are we talking about this? Because of Colin Farrell?
Sorry. Yeah, because of Colin Farrell. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to derail us. But
that was funny.
No, the Penguin is great. If you have an Andor shaped hole in your heart and you like Batman, then I think Penguin is a great solution. It's so good. We've really enjoyed the first 3 or 4 episodes. So first 2 or 3 episodes. So.
I have a huge Andor shaped hole in my heart, and I'm so bad at finding something to watch. Like, I feel like a TV show is an investment as well, right? Because like I don't have like these days.
There you go. We just handed it to you on a silver platter.
Thank you. Because I don't have a lot of free time these days, not as much as I'd like anyway. So like, what I end up doing is I sit down or I get in the bed and I scroll down Netflix or scroll down Disney Plus, and I'm just, even though if I tried half of these things, I'd probably like them. When I'm scrolling, I'm just like, no. Yeah, and then I flick off and go back to my YouTube slap. That happens like every 3 days.
That's Netflix in general nowadays.
Yeah,
but I mean, you couldn't find a better replacement for the show. I mean, it's a dark and gritty atmosphere that features a very serious story about a guy who is technically an asshole. Who goes through some pretty interesting situations. And sure, there's some violence and there's some action, but there's also a lot of story building and great dialogue and stuff. So that describes both of them pretty well. So
you said it's HBO Max, right?
Yeah, I think it is. I think we were watching it on HBO.
I don't know if that exists. I don't know if that exists. Hulu definitely doesn't exist in the UK. I don't know if HBO Max does, to be honest. On Google that.
Yeah, Hulu seems to have it, so it's probably on Hulu. Yeah, it's Hulu. Wait, it says HBO, so I have no idea.
Yeah, those things are both not available in the UK. So I will not watch the show, guys. That's the end of that. There's absolutely no way I can watch it.
I don't know if you even could, because with the censoring going on, you might not even be able to see it even if it was offered. So
I can.
Tough luck.
Don't worry.
Darn it! If only we had some other means to watch it, unavailable by normal legal methods.
Mm-hmm. You could always get the Blu-rays.
I'll get the Blu-rays. I'm not touching any of these illegal methods. Promise.
Sorry.
All right, good. All right, what are we? Pirate software? Get out of here.
Exactly. Don't pirate software.
Don't. But yeah, it's good. It's a fun time. My only caveat to anybody who's watching this is that if you didn't like the Robert Pattinson Batman, you will not like the Penguin. It's dark. It's kind of like that in tone and aesthetic. So like, I think I'd be very surprised to meet people who are like, yeah, I like the Penguin and I hated the Batman movie. It's like, really? They're pretty cut from the same cloth. So I don't know.
I love the Batman, but I love the Penguin, but the Batman movie, as much as I really dug the aesthetic, it felt really drawn out, and like I know a lot of people were like, oh, emo Batman, and like I didn't see that as much. I saw, but even then I still saw it as kind of like, they kind of made him a bit too broody at times. Like the part of Batman is that even though he's gone through all this fucked up shit in his life, he's still like a badass, and he's still like, he's probably, like in the Justice League with all these superheroes, even compared to Superman, I might even say Batman might be the most resilient. He's just got so much grit and drive, like and he's definitely the most intelligent, right?
I think that's comfortable to say. Yeah. I mean, I'm blanking. No, Justice League, like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash.
Right. So to see him is kind of like this more, like self-doubting kind of self. I didn't feel like it fit him as well.
Oh, interesting.
So I think that's why people were a bit, outraged for it. Not that he was doing it, but just that it was so out of character for him. I think Patterson did a great job.
Oh, he's such a good Batman. He's such a good, such a good cast.
I think, and people who are like, oh, he was in this movie, so he can't do it. It's like, no, like that's nothing. So, but I felt like the writing could have been better. I felt like there was a lot of stuff that just didn't make sense, like how they were solving this puzzle from the Riddler, and like literally as soon as they were able to solve the puzzle, then the thing happens that they were supposed to trip into just by coincidence. The timing of it just so happened, and like I'll do spoiler, for people.
I think
who
it's safe to assume everyone's seen it.
Yeah, it all went down to oh, by the way, the riddle is I'm gonna shoot this guy. Oh no, and like literally like minutes after they figure it out, he actually goes to shoot him, and like he's shooting the commissioner or something in broad daylight, and it's like he had so many opportunities to do this, like literally when he had like a bomb around the guy's neck, and that was
just one of my biggest gripes with the film. One of my biggest gripes with the film is that Batman takes that bomb to the face from about 3 inches, and it is unharmed.
That's another one too. I hated that, and also like he literally could have detonated it when he was much closer and got them both. So many messed up decisions. I remember the car chase too, like the car chase that went on way too long.
It went on way too long. Yeah.
Way too long. It actually got boring after. Like, oh god, just end it. And like was it the Penguin, right?
Yeah, Penguin.
It was the Penguin.
And like they're crashing all these other cars. People are dying left and right, and then it gets the Penguin. He's like, I'll let you live because I'm not bad. I'm not dark like you. I'll let you live. And it just seems so off. Even though that's in line with Batman, just the fact that he caused so much carnage in the city, but then he's like, I'm the good guy, and it just didn't fit. And like the whole went on too long is just a consistent theme in so much of the movie. Like just overall, the movie itself just kept going.
It did keep going.
And like
I have a massive issue with it. Like clarification, I liked it in general just because I thought the vibes were so cool, and the first half of the movie I'm pretty happy with. But I really didn't like how it devolved into Riddler goons. I mean, that sentence by itself is a little bit too strange to me. Like Riddler goons, whether in the arena at the end and Batman is fighting loads of people who are dressed up as the Riddler, and I'm like, he got incels on the internet and convinced them to actually dress up as Riddler and fight Batman. No way, that was not believable at all. They were just they were just internet trolls. Weird. They're not gonna dress up and fight Batman. They're probably all just like 50-year-old like fat guys. There's no way they're all suiting up to fight Batman. That was not believable at all. And the Riddler just isn't the kind of villain who has goons anyway. They made the Riddler have like an action showdown instead of like a outsmarting kind of situation.
Yeah.
That really threw me off big time. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah. I didn't like their take on the Riddler too. It just,
I agree.
It didn't give off the creepy vibes, much as it gave off kind of like GIMP vibes or something like that. It was just odd. But I
know what I'm getting Peter for Christmas this year.
No, you don't.
Riddler
no, you don't.
Mask.
God damn it. But yeah, just the whole ending felt tacked on. Like they had an end. Like I thought it was going to end right after that shooting, and then like it felt like it just kept going, like they couldn't decide when to end it on. And then I thought, oh, okay, this scene at the end where it floods, now it's in, and then it goes on after that, and it was like it's just weird, you just couldn't catch where the story arc was going or ending, and like again, just going back to just how drawn out the movie was. Even individual scenes, like I remember one scene where like there's something in a birdcage, like a note or something that he's reaching for, and like in any other movie it'd show a shot of the thing in the cage, and then it showed another shot where he just kind of opens it up and he reads it. But like literally, like it shows a shot of the thing in the cage and it just holds it, and then the camera goes on him, and then he just slowly opens the cage. He reaches inside, he grabs it, he pulls it back out, he slowly closes the cage. Like there's so many unnecessary scenes like that like I felt like the editor really could have really could have made it a lot snappier without losing much, you know.
I guess, yeah. They're probably going for like this slow, in-depth investigation vibe.
Yeah, I could definitely tell that's what they were going for. More of a detective kind of Batman, rather than just let's go through all the different layers of goons, you know.
Yeah.
But then it kind of, and then eventually it comes to that in the end. So it's weird. It's like they couldn't decide what they wanted. I guess, you know?
Yeah.
So
still, the movie's got vibes, though. Can't deny that.
I can't disagree with that, and I think that's what makes the Penguin so good too.
We watched it the other day, Sean, and I actually used that phrase you taught me. I was
don't say ore farming.
I said ore farming. I was like, he's just ore farming. He's not even helping them. Like he's just ore farming. Like
what have I done?
Are all, like,
what have I done?
Oh no, I've started using ore farming unironically now.
No, like, he's a serial offender.
He's of ore farming.
Patman is a serial offender of ore farming. Yeah, but he's quite good at it though. So.
Well, we really enjoyed the movie, and then that's why we hopped straight into the Penguin. So anybody who likes the movie or those vibes, and without the emo Batman, you'll have a good time with Penguin. And
you like the Batman movie, and you liked Andor. I mean, it's pretty much a mashup of both of them.
Well, there you go. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I will not watch that because it's not available in my country.
Well, get the Blu-ray then.
Get the Blu-ray,
so we can discuss it eventually.
Yes,
legally acquire the Blu-ray.
I will legally acquire the Blu-ray edition. I have a funny story, right? So, there's I didn't know this, but apparently there's 4 Jurassic World movies.
Oh my god, they're on the 4th.
I thought they were on 2 or 3, right? But they're on the 4th one, and it stars Scarlett Johansson, who is apparently completely phoning it in, according to the people I know who have seen it. I'm gonna go into like some spoil. I haven't seen it, but co-worker Nathan
couldn't possibly spoiler me on it, but go ahead.
Was telling me about some funny stuff that happened in it, and one of the most funny things was that basically at the end of the last movie, some of the so that would have been the 3rd one. A lot of dinosaurs got out into the wild, and I kind of thought that sounded cool because it's called Jurassic World, so I kind of thought it would make sense that the culmination would be that the dirt dinosaurs would kind of go back into the wild.
Didn't that happen in the first world? I mean, I
don't remember. I
don't follow the series. But okay, whatever.
I don't remember. But I've only seen 1 and 2. I haven't seen 3 myself. So I haven't seen 3 or 4. But anyway, the point is like. I think that sounds okay. I think that, like, as an idea, I think that sounds kind of cool, especially since it's called Jurassic World. Like, maybe in this timeline, they just, like, coexist with other wildlife. But then, this is how they decided to utilize that idea, right? So, the way I envisioned that happening is that dinosaurs would go and, like, you know, they'd find their own little places to live, or they'd go and live like maybe they'd dominate the animal kingdoms in some very rural like nature areas. That makes sense, right? That's logically what would happen.
Right. Yeah,
but
they just spread out.
But guess what happens in this film, right? They have a scene.
Oh no!
They have a scene where like a huge brontosaurus is causing a traffic jam in New York City. And when he told me that, I burst out laughing. I was laughing for like 15 minutes. I'm like, why is it in New York City? Like, you understand, to get to New York City, you have to like cross one of several bridges, right? How did it get there? Like, it's not like an elephant can just walk into New York City. It'll probably get shot or like turned around. Like, you don't just get like huge animals like that in these massive cities.
Like it wouldn't even make sense that it'd be wandering that close. Like it needs food. Like it keep to the greenery. Like they disperse into the jungle. They wouldn't like chill in people's neighborhoods. You know.
Yeah, like, it was
you'd see a little one every now and then at the edges of. I mean, it's like animals now. We get
animals now.
Like. Yeah, we get animal. You know, if the further outside of the city you live, the more likely you are to see wildlife,
I was like,
roaming around the neighborhood.
Did the writers of the movie not think about how current animals work? Like they don't just live in the city center.
I know. I absolutely know where this came from. I know for sure, 100% where this came from. This is a scene somebody wrote. Like, imagine a brontosaurus in New York causing a traffic jam, and everyone's just pissed they're stuck in traffic. Wouldn't that be? And then like they decided to write backwards. Like, how do we fit this into the movie? This is such a good scene. I wanted to put it in, and it's like, I don't know. We'll just cut to it, I guess. It's like, yeah, we'll just cut to it. Works for Family Guy. Whatever. Let's do it.
Yeah, that 100%. That was, like I said, I haven't seen that film or the last one, so I have no, like, I can't even critique it really because I just don't know. I don't know. I don't care. But that was hilarious. That made me laugh very hard at work for a long time. Think about this film that takes itself entirely seriously, thinking about dinosaurs going back into the wildlife, and there they are. The first place they thought to write and film a scene is in New York City, because that's what they are. That's what the world is, right? Like, in movies,
it's New York City.
In movies, that's what the world that's what the outside world is. New York City.
Where was the new island? Because I remember, what was it, Isla Nebula or something? Was in like Central America somewhere, right? Like Costa Rica or something like that.
I believe so.
And then is there like a new island or something?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Did they use the same? Okay,
I don't know.
I'm getting too deep in the lore, and nobody here cares. Honestly, I don't care either.
You're asking for surface level lore, and no one knows.
Yeah. Maybe I don't want the answer. Maybe it's best.
It would just disappoint you. It would make you sad.
It honestly would. It honestly would.
No, I think it's funny that like the Jurassic World movies have like they've kind of written themselves into a place where every movie they have to have the new most dangerous dinosaurs. So they're just making them more and more like fucked up. Like they just keep making these dinosaurs like now it's the super T-Rex and now it's the genetically modified T-Rex.
It's like dinosaurs weren't scary enough. We have to have we made a dinosaur with cloaking technology.
Literally.
The fuck? Like what the hell? Like.
Yeah, they do it again in this movie as well. So apparently, there's I think like more than one like mega dinosaurs.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Now
I mean,
if T-Rex,
if Aliens was able to use the same alien in a ton of different ways, like it's like, man, I loved the first Jurassic Park so much.
Yeah,
and the raptors were scary. Like you don't need to make
they
the
were
raptors
so scary. That scene gave me like nightmares when I was a young kid.
Yeah, the raptors and the T-Rex, like it was just horrifying, man. And it was awesome how they portrayed them. And then, man, like I even read the book, and that's how I got into Michael Crichton. And man, he's got some bangers. Like ever since that, even the book of Jurassic Park 2 was like, ooh, this doesn't feel like he really put a lot of effort into it. And then the movies. Man, that series really fell off, which is sad because, they could have really gone into so many creative places with dinosaurs in modern times, right? Yeah. And then they went with just this shark jumping BS.
It's very similar to like a lot of other franchises that try to soft reboot or reinvent themselves, where they try and one up everything that was done before, like Star Wars with the First Order. Like they didn't dinosaurs isn't enough anymore. We have to have a dinosaur with camouflage, like with active camouflage.
Right.
T-Rex with laser beams.
Wow.
It's like the sad commentary is like when they do this, they're telling the audience, "Oh, we don't actually think that the original stuff was that scary. We have to like put all these bells and whistles on it to make it scary." And it's like, no, like. Yeah. The raptors were terrifying. They were already scary.
And they did the stupid franchise things where like they were the enemy, but now they're our friends. Right. Velociraptors, let's go. Like that was so cheesy to me. The Chris Pratt scene where he's like, "Ooh, come on, girl. Oh, it's all right. We got you. We're friends. We're buddies. Yeah." It made them so much less, scary when they're just like a pet now. And so, man, they really trashed that series. They could have left it at 1, and I'd have been happy. But, man, pisses me off.
Well, thank you so much to Sean's friend for inspiring none of us to go see the new Jurassic World movie.
He did not sell it. He did not sell it.
He did not sell it. That's probably for the best.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded shit
anyway. Bunch of other good movies out there. Superman.
Fantastic watch Four. That instead. I need to see Fantastic Four. I was wondering if we should do a special on it, but are we like just too late at this point, or should we just do it anyway?
We'll do it anyways. I mean, there's people who haven't watched it, who are curious about it. There's people who have watched it who, might want to hear about it. I don't know, but it's a movie. It's out. It's still in theaters. I mean, it's wild to me how like back when movies were in theaters for a couple months, then they'd just be gone, and then eventually we'd see them in like rental stores for a little bit, and then finally available on video like later, many months later,
Yeah.
And now it's like, if a movie's out for like more than a couple weeks, then people are like, oh, that's old sock, it's been talked about, and even like news stories and stuff, like you'll be talking about, oh my God, did you hear about blah blah that happened? It's like, yeah, that was like last week, man. Like, we're so over that now. It's like it's still relevant. What the fuck are you talking about? Like stuff like that. And shows. Like I've had some amazing shows. Recommended to me, and like it might be like a couple months old, even like a year or two old. And I'll bring them up to people, and it's like, oh yeah, that's been out forever. I can't believe you've never seen that. It's like, of course I haven't seen it. I haven't seen every show ever.
Yeah. A lot of stuff to watch. Like even good stuff like The Penguin can go unmissed because there's just so much stuff to watch.
Yeah,
like
there's just so much, really. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I think it's good to talk about it for sure.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, unless anyone's got anything else to say, we could maybe wrap this up at 15 minutes, a little bit early, but that's okay. Still a good episode.
I think we made up for it last time.
Yeah, we did make up for it last time. Last time was a long episode. It's fine.
I'm looking forward to the Fantastic Four special. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I need to go and see it. I don't know if we can.
I need to watch it.
I'm assuming it'll be in theaters for a while.
Yeah, I meant to watch it this weekend when I got busy, but it's definitely on my list. Like,
yeah, I'll see it.
Superman and Fantastic Four were on there, and I got one, so I got to get the other now.
Yeah, I'll see it. I got free tickets last time because of the kickoff in the cinema. Everyone got refunded free tickets. Yeah, I said, I think in the Superman episode, the last 2 times I've been to a cinema, I've been refunded both times. Wow. So I basically had 4 for the price of 2. Yeah,
that's great. Dang.
Yeah.
Well, with theater prices, that's pretty dang good. That saved you a big chunk of change.
Yeah. Well.
All right.
Anyway, that was pretty good. I enjoyed the Battlefield stuff. Really looking forward to see what happens about. I think it's going to be so interesting because I like one way or the other. I don't know which way it's going to fall. It could die after like 2 months, and Call of Duty will just prevail, or it could really. I mean, I can't see it dying, but we'll see who comes out on top of that.
Yeah, I don't see it dying. I definitely see it going strong, especially with those beta numbers.
Yeah.
I have, I went from being really pessimistic to this about being pretty optimistic. So
nice, good.
We'll see how it turns out.
Well, thank you both. Clyde is salt buff. My apologies for continuously saying not your friend. And
you're totally fine. It just changed.
Yeah, and Peter, go on a stick. All done. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
And go watch Penguin.
Watch Penguin.
It's good.